Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
What has 12 million eyes, over 50 million fingers, and reaches from the Statue of Liberty all the way to the Pacific Ocean? Hands Across America, a human chain 4,000 miles long, ocean to ocean, coast to coast. It started with the music, and now it's your turn. 6 million people, including some of the leading names in rock and roll, will join hands on May 25th to fight hunger in the United States, and MTV can help put you there. Learn more about Hands Across America. Watch for further developments on MTV.
Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my doppelgangers, Nate.
I got 5 on it.
And Lisa.
I hate you so much sometimes.
And I just stole it.
Why you always gotta go to him first?
I don't know. I'm just because I'm looking at him when we start.
That's cool. Great start here, Mitch. Great start.
I feel like privilege is going to be a topic of conversation.
Did you ever notice that there's no M, I, T, C, or H in us? Just saying.
Wow. None of those letters, huh?
None of them.
None.
No overlap.
No.
So.
Crazy.
Makes sense. Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror film and we debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is someone we would not usually call a horror fan. This week, we had several guests lined up for going to see Us, but I don't know. They didn't show up when we drove off. I mean, we saw them. They were holding hands. I don't know.
Yeah. We were going to go to the pier, but we decided not to. Probably a good move.
Yeah. For our unsuspecting victims for this episode who didn't come, red's not your color. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, and there is actually a pier in the Houston area, I think Galveston, called Pleasure Pier. I highly recommend, horror movies or not, please don't go there.
Yeah. It's just not where you want to go.
Not great.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine.
Pleasure Pier.
No. Look, and anyway, for those who have never been to Houston or Galveston, let me just set the scene. We had a big breaking news story this past year occurred when the water for like a week turned actual blue and wasn't like its normal dismal gray, like
seaweed-esque.
Yeah. And people like had to leave work and school to go out to the beach that week while it lasted. So that gives you a good sense of what you might find at Pleasure Pier, among other things.
It's no Padre.
Yeah, it is no Padre. No. It is no
it's not even
Corpus.
It's not even North Padre. It's not even close to that.
So, Lisa, as always, you'll be representing our legions of unsuspecting victims.
I'm so freaking lucky.
Oh, yeah.
How general unsuspecting victimness for this movie. Did you feel like an unsuspecting victim on this one?
Yeah, so this one, the trailer is terrifying. And I just happened to see the trailer ahead of Mary Queen of Scots of all the movies.
God damn it, Mary.
It was so messed up. And Mitch is like, I gotta go to the restroom. So he left. I'm by myself. I'd never seen the trailer before. Didn't know that Jordan Peele was coming out with another movie. The trailer plays. I'm like, what in the hell? Finally, Mitch comes back. He's like, oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm like, screw you.
Yeah, Mary Queen of Scots, that you never think she'll let you down. You know what I mean? Like that, the least likely to let you down. And
how could you, Saoirse?
Exactly.
Little do we know, Peele's a history buff. That's why he put the trailer there.
He got you.
That's right.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. Did
it though? It didn't really. I just got dragged to this.
That is a strange cross section in terms of your mark. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being dragged into this one.
So funny story.
Yeah.
About because we just saw this and now we're recording the episode a couple hours later. There were 2 ladies talking outside our theater, and I went to get the popcorn. And I came back. And they were saying goodbye. And one lady had they were friends, but one was going in and one had just come out of it. So I asked her, I was like, is it really bad? Like, am I going to be terrified? She's like, if you have fear in your heart, you're going to be terrified. If you don't have fear in your heart, you're going to learn something. And I was like,
what does that mean?
Thank you. That told me nothing.
You have fear in your heart?
Is that this theater we go to?
I don't know, but that's what she told me.
We might have to move theaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yikes. Like, I'm not holding a gun at you. You just have fear in your heart. What?
I know, right?
What is happening?
I didn't look up anything about this movie ahead of time. Can someone please get back to us on if that was a quote from Jordan Peele or is that part of the marketing?
Oh, maybe.
I don't think that's it.
I don't know.
I think you just ran into a crazy person.
Do you have fear?
So did you have fear?
Jesus.
Well, so the obvious question, did you have fear in your heart, Lisa?
I did.
You
after that conversation, it's like this reminds me of when I got married. There's a lady.
Did the pastor ask you that beforehand? Like, no. Do you have fear in your heart?
No, there was no pastor there. We got married by a justice of the peace family friend.
Did the justice of the peace ask if you have fear?
He did. He was like, I'm getting a gift card to my favorite restaurant, money. But
Jesus.
No, he's awesome. But there was a lady who baked us a cake. So a lot of family friends did some stuff for our wedding. And so she bakes us the cake and we're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And she's like, like no problem. I just want to tell you one thing. Like don't put the cake in each other's faces. And we're like, oh, well, we weren't planning on doing that. And a lot of people do. But we're like, we weren't planning on doing that. She's like, oh, okay, good. Because my daughter did that with her husband, and then he ended up beating her. I was just like, wait, what?
At the wedding?
No, after the wedding. No.
You bitch.
No, I think it took a little longer than that. But what I'm saying is, when you ask somebody like, oh, why is that? And then you just get an answer that it makes it so much worse. So then I'm eating the cake and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be that. I'm really thinking about this during a time I probably shouldn't be. That is your fear in your heart quote right there. It's like it's really taking you to a place that makes no sense and is way worse.
I know. After she said that, the funny thing is after she said that, I felt more scared going in than I had before I talked to her. I was like, what?
Maybe they've paid people to stand outside the movie theater to do just what they did to
say
you.
Random stuff like that.
If you have fear in your heart, you're going to be terrified.
So, you know what would have been better? Viral marketing. They should have had people standing outside the theater holding a cardboard sign that said Jeremiah 11:11.
Ooh, that'd be good.
And then at the end of the movie, they're just gone.
That'd be good.
That would have been a thing.
They played it a lot at our theater, so that'd be real tough to time out. There's a lot of showings.
That's true.
Just multiple, I guess. Couldn't do it with it.
They should have done that at like the premiere.
There should have just been balloons like at the top of when it comes out. There's a bunch of balloons on the top of like the ceiling of the theater. That's an easy one.
There was
a balloon drop.
I don't know. For a long time, a red balloon was above Mattress Firm. For like a week when the first it came out, I really thought it was viral marketing, but it was just Mattress Firm.
How do you think Pennywise pays for like his lair?
Hey, you'll all float up here on these very comfortable, luxurious mattresses.
You'll feel like you're floating on these mattresses.
Christ.
Put in the code TPM for Mattress Firm. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Well,
you will get no percent off.
Yeah, you'll pay more actually. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
We've already gone off the rails. It is not 5 minutes in. So obviously this movie is Us. So we're going to get into that. As always with our brand new movies, our brand new releases, we will have a spoiler free section and then we'll jump into spoilers on the second half. And we'll give you fair warning in case you haven't seen it yet. But before we do that, I do have a debate question for you, both of you.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, guys. What's going to be fun for the listeners, they're going to hear me have laryngitis like as the show keeps going when I get already feel it. So I'm going to just go ahead and preemptively apologize for sounding like that. All right, but
you mean you're not intending to sound like
it sounds like you're already making excuses for losing the debate. That was one of the fastest times I've ever heard that. Dang.
Damn it, Nate! You called me out in front of all my friends. I have no friends. Okay, here we go. In this movie, they're doppelgangers. It's
in the trailer. It's pretty obvious.
We'll get into the nature of it, which is the spoilery part, I guess. But yeah, they look like you, and they're attacking you. And I guess the question is, if you saw a different evil, dark, sinister version of yourself attacking you, do you think you could kick your own ass? Is really, what do you think? Who's winning, you or your shadow version?
So I don't want to spoil, but it seems so that they're not exactly like you. They're a little different, right? The doppelgangers.
Yeah,
Obviously,
sure,
they're not
sure.
identical copies, right? They're much creepier,
right?
With a little bit different skill set. Let's just say that.
Yeah, sure.
I think I'm taking my doppelganger down.
You think so?
I think so.
How?
Ooh.
So the doppelganger is me ostensibly, knows me pretty well, but I have never been in a situation where I'm being stalked by somebody. So you have a chance to throw them off because they've never been in that situation either, and you have the advantage because you have home field. Like they're invading your house. You should be able to throw them off with something unexpected.
And Nate, you think you could fight off the antithesis of you?
Yes, definitely. You're looking at me like you don't believe me.
I'm dubious. It's a dubious proposition at best.
So there's a scene in the movie where someone like kind of just goes crazy with their weapon. I feel like I would be that person. Like I would just I'm literally just not stopping until.
What is your weapon?
It's
Nate?
it's like The Patriot, Mel Gibson. Like you just don't stop until it's like 1,000. Like he's already dead. Like it's that level.
So what is your weapon of choice then? I know you have a number of guitars. Are you reaching for an axe?
So I actually have a couple hatchets.
Okay.
I think the hatchet is a good move.
Now, will these be sharpened?
Yeah, I have it sharpened. I just sharpened it recently.
Have you? Because whenever we go on our canoe trip, you never have.
I don't bring mine because it's like.
Oh, is that why?
It's kind of
Okay,
nice.
I thought that was yours.
It's kind of nice, so I don't bring
Great.
it.
So then we're using everyone else's garbage. That's
Exactly.
Good. You heard it
We're
here on
using
the podcast.
Sorry, I'm sandbagging my high quality hatchets.
You got to keep them ready for when the doppelgangers come.
Man,
I
feel like I'm framing myself. Like if someone's going to use this podcast, I'm like, well, put Nate in jail. That's great. Thanks.
Someone's going around with hatchet
exactly.
attacking. Yeah.
Man, it's like the movie. Was
Hatchet?
it Copycat with Sigourney Weaver? That's all basically setting this up already. God
Yeah,
damn
pretty
it.
much.
Yeah, I'm going hatchet for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for my doppelganger, I've just got to assume that I have to outlast him. I mean, knowing me, he does not have good cardio.
Okay.
So it's really just, I got it it's kind of like the whole Friday the 13th thing. I just have to keep him in my view and just keep a good distance.
It follows basically.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't, and eventually I think he'll just get tired and maybe sit
But
down.
won't you eventually get tired?
Well, yes, but I think we'll get tired at the same time, and that'll ultimately feed into my strategy.
Okay. You just got to not do the horror trope where you trip on like a raised root of a tree.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Then you're done,
look,
right? Like then it's over.
My doppel me is not going to be running by any stretch.
Okay. So like you could have like a go-kart ready or like a moped. There's like a moped always running.
Yeah.
Like just so you could barely get ahead.
I feel like I just get in a car and I've won this. Yeah. I would just run myself over with
No, a car is not. No, it has to be a moped. That's a way cooler. Somehow.
Vespa.
Yeah. Oh, Vespa.
Oh my God.
And you're putting on your helmet and he's getting closer and closer. You're like, oh my God, I got to click the helmet.
Because I feel like it would just be like one of those shitty action military punches it. I flip over over myself.
Okay.
I can't imagine I'm taking out anyone.
But
in
you're
a Vespa.
maneuverable. You're maneuverable.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say it's more of a coin flip for me. I'll be honest. Maybe.
Okay.
I'd like to think I have a good shot, but I also could see similar events that happened to the movie happen to me. So we'll see.
So maybe like in terms of prepping your home defense, maybe that's like the best move.
Yeah, mine's got to be the prep. If
although you're
no
in a beach house that you're renting, so I guess you can't really.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't be.
That's true.
Look at my complexion, people. I would not be at the beach.
Ophelia is not going to help you, Mitch.
Ophelia.
Stay hunkered in your homes, up on top of mountains where you have clear, unobstructed views.
That's right.
That's the best one. Yeah. How about you, Lisa?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we would get into a fight, and knowing me, we would both break a bone. Because that's just the type of person
So
I
it
am.
depends on what bone you break.
I would just punch her and break something.
A volleyball just inexplicably flies out of nowhere and hits the other doppelganger in the face.
Pretty much.
This is Daria?
I feel like we would
What is
both.
this?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like we would both just be sitting on the ground going. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what would happen.
But then,
So it'd be kind of neutral, and then we'd just be like, meh.
so I'm going on a hatchet murder spree. You guys are both. You guys are.
Mitch is wearing him
Mitch
down.
is doing the O.J. Simpson of chase scenes, and then you guys are both like going on the
Christ, could
injured
I
reserve at
find
the
a
same
Ford
time.
We just give up.
Could I find a Ford White Bronco?
Yikes! Wow.
Because inevitably my baby will cry, the shadow baby will cry, and we'll get distracted and have to go take care of them.
In the shadows.
Oh God.
Is that not this movie? I can't remember.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
not.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll say, I think between ours, mine and Lisa seem a lot more realistic.
I already have a hatchet. I start swinging it a lot. Seems
Nate,
reasonable.
I just feel like you would just be shouting at your doppelme, and your doppelme would just, or doppelganger would just yell back at you, and it would just be a lot of shouting and then drinking.
Old granddad.
Okay, so I do
just be old granddad.
So I do a Russian
and-
style. I'm like, oh, you want to do a drink off? You want to do a drink off?
Drink you under the
Let's
table.
decide this.
It's just Oberon and old granddad. Whoever survived.
That actually sounds like I got a great chance then. I don't know what the shadow people, doppelgangers, are drinking. Probably not that.
It's not vodka o'clock?
No, vodka clock is great.
Does your last thing, and then we'll move in to the episode. Does your doppelganger also have the entire Blu-ray collection of Leprechaun?
See, if he doesn't, again, advantage me. I have the advantage.
You can murder me, but only after you watch all the Leprechaun.
Yeah, exactly, all of them.
Your doppelganger just jumps off a cliff.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let us know how you would do against your doppelganger, or if you think we'd be able to take over, or if you like who you thought won this debate. You can let us know at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else, and that's our Gmail as well.
Episode 100 is coming up. We've already got responses, but if you think yours is better than other people's, we'll cage match it. You won't see the fight, but if you have a better one, there'll be like a symbolic just throwing something in the trash.
If they are of
yours in
equal,
there.
if they're equal quality, we'll do a head-to-head match. In which case, Nate and I will print them out, fold them up in paper airplanes, and throw them at each other. And whichever one sticks, pretty much.
Or Lisa does that to her doppelganger. They both get poked in the eye, and then they're both just laying on the ground like, oh, my eye.
Sounds right.
Either way, Texas Podcast Massacre @gmail.com.
All right. Well, let's get into this week's movie of the week. This Is Us.
God, I hate you. I hate you, Mitch.
This week's movie of the week, Us.
You know how sometimes things line up? Coincidences? Since we've been up here, they've been happening more and more. It's like there's this black cloud hanging over us.
There's a family in our driveway.
Who is that?
Run.
What are you people?
It's us.
I really should just switch the trailer and put in This Is Us trailer.
I know. Mitch, I can't believe you said This Is Us. That's good.
You said it on purpose.
Yeah, I said it on purpose.
Did you, though?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he
did.
You? Are you
Because
sure?
tell him what Peele said.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when this movie opened at South by Southwest,
Texas. Represent.
Whoop,
whoop, whoop, Well done. All right. Yeah. So he came out and said, what if all this, I just walked off stage and we just played random episodes of This Is Us and no context? What if that's all this was? That's how he pretty much opened his speech for South by Southwest, went for the premiere of Us.
I mean, I haven't seen that many This Is Us episodes, maybe like 2. But you can cut anything into a horror film, right?
Agreed.
Oh, and This Is Us, you definitely can.
You can cut anything.
Definitely.
The best one I've ever seen was Must Love Jaws. And they did it to Must Love Dogs or whatever, but they did it with like Jaws.
Okay.
I don't know why I felt like I had to spell that out. It's pretty much there in the name, but
yep, got it.
Just in case you didn't know. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about Us, the movie.
Yes. Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah.
Well, here. First, let me go over some of the stats for the movie.
Yeah, let's do the stats now.
Jordan Peele is doing everything on Earth right now.
Yeah, right.
Everything from Toy Story 4 post-production on the movie that's coming out this year. He's the voice of the bunny. Cinematic universe tie-in with this movie.
Right.
And I was going to throw in The Favorite. I don't know if you guys saw The Favorite, but a lot of bunnies in that one, especially at the end. He's doing the Twilight Zone TV series, which is coming out in like a week.
Yeah, I'm about to say in days, right?
Yeah, in a week. He has a HBO show that's coming out that's called Lovecraft Country.
Ooh.
He's got The Hunt, which is coming out on Amazon Prime. He did the Lorena Bobbitt mini documentary series that was on Amazon Prime also. Executive produced that. He was a producer on Black Klansman.
Yep.
That won an Oscar earlier, like a month ago. This guy is doing everything.
Yep.
Are you interested in any of those?
You know why?
Lisa? Are you interested in any of those things?
Chelsea Peretti.
Chelsea Peretti.
They get married and look, boom, skyrockets. Behind every hardworking man is a hardworking woman.
She's fantastic. I love
she's
her.
great.
I think she's fantastic. So
Yeah.
I would love to see a little bit of A Quiet Place casting, like cast her.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
and Jordan just.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
like
my God, that would be
her in
hilarious.
there. Get her in there. Like have her be like the first person killed in the movie. That would be awesome. I mean, like just get her like a fun cameo. You know what I mean? Like that.
She's
kind
so
of a
great.
thing.
She just get murdered right away.
Like I love you, honey. You're dying in minute 3.
Bam.
Like it's real early.
Oh, that's a wrap. All right. No, so yeah. What else you got on this?
Well, okay. So then we got.
Oh, I'm sorry. You asked Lisa. So of those things that you listed,
Yeah.
was there one that you're interested in that Jordan Peele's doing?
So The Hunt is a diverse band of Nazi hunters living in 1977 New York City are going after high-ranking Nazi officials that are living among us.
That sounds interesting.
Trying to make a Fourth Reich in the United States.
That sounds a lot like Man in the High Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is that
I would watch
interesting
that.
to you?
I would watch that. I'll probably watch episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Okay.
I think so.
What about Lovecraft Country?
Nope.
It is a drama horror television show.
That is
going to be. So that's the HBO one.
giant nope from me.
There's a guy ends up joining up with his friend and
No
his
one
uncle
cares, Nate.
to
Stop
embark
talking.
on a road trip across 1950s Jim Crow America in search of his missing father.
And gets eaten by Cthulhu.
Imagine he's gonna get eaten by racism. Is what's gonna happen. 1950s.
Oh, Cthulhu's
Jim
a metaphor
Crow
for
America.
racism?
Oh my God.
Wow.
That actually. Ooh.
We just went deep.
Wow, Mitch. Let's start writing the screenplay now, and then hope we can beat something else there. Yikes!
Yeah,
that's good. And then there's a stop animation show for Netflix.
He cannot decide.
Called Wendell and Wild. He's doing that with Key. So they got a
that'll be funny.
Key and Peele reunion. So that'll be good.
funny.
Good.
Yeah, he's producing literally everything. I think.
Key and Peele, is their show not going anymore?
No. It's like,
okay.
I'm
That's
direct.
over.
I'm like winning Oscars, so I'm just gonna not do that anymore. Thanks though.
Sorry,
No.
Key.
Yeah, I know. Key was like kind of the guy, and then it's like, nope, flipped. Kind of, right?
Yeah.
So did you have any other stats on this one?
Well, and then so I guess I just wanted to shout out the two main leads in the movie. We got Lupita Nyong'o. She was in 12 Years a Slave.
Did you call Lupita?
Lupita?
Lupita.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o.
You're looking at that last name.
I'm like, I said it right. I said it right. I have to look at, so she's in Star Wars. So she's going to be in Star Wars 9 this year. She was just in a movie called Little Monsters, which is a horror comedy that just came out. I haven't had a chance to see it, but it looks awesome. She was in Black Panther with Wendell Duke, her husband in the movie. He was in Baku. And she's going to be in a movie called 355. That's basically like a female cast of international spy agents, which looks pretty sweet.
I'm down.
You got Lupita, you got Jessica Chastain, you got Penelope Cruz, you got Marion Cotillard, and you got Bing Fan.
I'm in.
Right? That sounds
awesome.
Not horror related, but
that's great.
Pretty good sounding. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Then we got so this Winston Duke. Did I say Wendell? Winston Duke, I meant. It was Wendell and Wild was the name of that Jordan Peele show. God damn it.
Goodness, Nate.
Winston Duke. It's too many W words. So he was in Black Panther and obviously Infinity War, and he'll be in Endgame. He's in Us. And then like before Black Panther, he had not been in any movies. He had been in Modern Family, Major Crimes, The Messengers, Person of Interest, and Law and Order SVU episodes.
Who was he in Modern Family?
He was the character Dwight.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Dwight. He's the football player that Cam wants to stay, so he ends up living with them.
Yeah.
How funny.
So he went from that to now he's pretty in demand. So good for him.
What's his next? Did you say his next project?
So his next project, he's got Wonderland coming out this year, where basically it looks like it's a Mark Wahlberg vehicle, but he's the second guy.
All right.
An ex-felon named Spencer returns to Boston's criminal underworld to unravel a twisted murder conspiracy. How you guys doing?
hey, where's your mama? How's your mama?
Yeah.
Is she in this underground racket too? I mean,
you guys want some of these burgers? Like, Jesus. And there you go. All right.
Burgers.
That's the movie. Yep. So yeah, so those are the main. And you got Elizabeth Moss. You know, they got Tim and Eric Awesome Show is in the movie too. You got everybody. This movie's great. Very minimal cast.
Yeah.
The cast is extremely minimal. Yeah.
Not really though, because there's like a million.
Oh, there's extras all over the place. But the actual like actors involved in this movie, there's 2 kids, there's 4 kids, and 4 adults.
Yes.
To be honest,
there's 2 parents in the beginning, basically,
and a little girl at the beginning.
That's it. That is it.
So first off, overall impressions. Lisa, let's start with you because certainly Nate and I think had a pretty high level of expectation and hype. You, I know, were dreading this. Is that fair?
I have fear in my heart.
You had fear. You have fear.
I have fear in my heart.
That's the name of the episode. God damn it. It's locked in now.
You got fear in your heart. Let it out.
I don't know. Get Out is the better movie of the 2.
Okay. You're just throwing it out right off the bat.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler.
You liked Get Out better.
Get Out was better.
Okay.
This one is more scary in the fact that it's more gory.
Yeah.
And more suspenseful. A lot more jump scares.
Yeah.
Because, people are chasing each other. Oh my God, I can't talk either, Mitch. It's something going on tonight. Unsuspecting victim friendly.
You got to get a bit of liquor courage for this to get through this movie.
I did. We did go to a theater with vodka o'clock. I don't know if it's unsuspecting victim friendly. I think I go back to depends on what you can stand, right? If you're not a fan of gore, don't go to this. If you're not a fan of orchestras, high violins constantly playing a high note, don't go to this. If you're not a fan of jump scares, don't go see this. No. If you're not a fan of also people doing weird, creepy, like crawly things,
the movements in this
the movements,
are creep city.
And if you're not a fan of really, really creepy smiling, don't go see this.
Wow, this is okay.
If none of that bothers you, then you'll be fine.
So if you're Mitch and Nate,
It's on the list of the stuff that we've watched, it's not that bad. It's not that scary. Now I'm starting to wonder if I've watched enough of this stuff with you guys. I'm getting so desensitized. I'm like, and that was fine.
that's highly possible.
It's probably also home invasion triggers. Like if the Last House on the Left, that sort of thing gets to you, I wouldn't watch this either. So there's a lot of reasons to not go see it.
Yeah, you're listing a lot of reasons.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of horror elements in here.
Yeah, I mean, I largely agree with you. I do think that while this is certainly a better horror movie than Get Out was the better overall movie. And we'll get into some more details around that. But yeah, I think you're right. It's not so gory that I think people couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It's not like an Eli Roth, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's not buckets of blood.
They cut away for a decent amount of it.
And it's really not a lot of there's not really much in the way of jump scares. It's really
a lot of tension.
It's really just tension and suspense. It's probably less intense than Hereditary. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you go through this movie and it's tough for you from the tension, just don't do Hereditary. You're gonna have a miserable
Or if you
time.
did Hereditary, you're probably okay with this.
If you pass through Hereditary, then this is cake. That's truthfully. It's good. It is a bit scarier than Get Out. I enjoyed it. I certainly think it's an interesting movie. And it's certainly, I think, worth seeing in theaters.
It's good. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well done, very good. It was super, super interesting to watch these actors play, themselves and them shadow selves. Like that was really cool because they all did. I mean, I can't think of a single one that didn't do a good job. They all did a really great job with it.
Yeah.
Nate, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought Get Out was better. This one is like, I made Get Out because I didn't have that much money and I had like a real tight premise. This one, I get more money, I can kind of bust out.
No.
I feel like he busted out. Not all the threads worked, but there were some real good threads that did work. So not everything hit like thematically, like together.
Yeah.
There's disjointed. There was like some exposition that was really kind of unnecessary that was in there. They kind of explained things like almost too much. But it was, if you don't like people moving weird, this is not your movie.
Yeah.
A lot of weird movements in a lot of different ways.
I think this is going to be, look back at this, in a few months. I think we're going to see this and say, yeah, this is where his mind is going into Twilight Zone. Because this is very Twilight Zone feel in terms of with
more stabbing,
the tension. Right. I mean, it's certainly a more violent. Yeah. But it's that same sort of, what can you believe? Trust what, can you trust what you're seeing? I agree. I wonder if there's Get Out was such a small, like self-contained story. I sometimes wonder if this movie was made more, like there's more to it and he just didn't want to go into all of it. Like, I wonder if he's trying to like set up other things and,
is there going to be an Animatrix Us where they they go into the?
Is this the Peele-averse?
Do you think it would have been better as a series?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that the story itself in this movie is fine. Like from start to finish, it wraps up pretty well. I just think that there's a lot of these threads that they sort of explain, but they don't really explain with enough detail that I think you're going to be satisfied. It's just kind of matter of fact, like here's what it is, and you're gonna be, wait, what? And my guess is that there's probably a story there, and maybe that's just not this movie.
Like 11/11,
right? 11/11. The nature of the shadows. That whole thing. I mean, they tell you what it is, but it's, and I think that leads to what you're kind of talking about with the themes not really quite landing, because I think maybe this is just part of something larger he's thinking of. I don't know. It could also just be that he's trying to pigeonhole a bunch of themes into a horror movie.
I think he threw a little bit too much against the wall, but sometimes you make a messy film, but there's like a bunch of cool things in it, and it's still good. That's kind of what this did.
Yeah. So, what did y'all think about the family in this? The acting.
The acting was good. Yeah. The dad nailed the. Mitch, you and I are both new fathers.
Oh, that
we're
was hilarious.
gonna have to hone our craft to get this level of dadness.
Oh
my
gosh.
God, yeah.
Dad
He was
jokes like, I mean, our son really wanted to go to the beach, like this straight up guilting. Like we really got to work on
dabbing.
these. Yeah, he threw out the worst dab in the history of Earth.
Oh, yeah.
He bought a boat that was called the Crawdaddy.
Oh my god.
I mean, we got to step our games up after watching this movie.
Yeah, I mean I certainly the most identifiable character, identifiable character and the relatable character. He's great. I loved every scene he was in.
He really reminded me of Jordan Peele in this movie.
Yeah,
He's got a very similar vibe.
yeah.
Like
Jordan probably wrote that.
like kind of a nerdy-ish kind of dude, right? Like he kind of even sounds similar voice wise.
Yeah.
This dude is basically
See,
Jordan
and that's
Peele.
hilarious to me because
bigger.
all the mom stuff got to me. Like the first part when she's little, when they're 1986, and the mom's trying to keep an eye on her at the carnival, and the dad's not watching her. And then later on with
dads are the worst.
I kept getting a lot of looks in this movie. Like I haven't done anything yet.
Watch your child.
We don't know where our child is while we're watching this movie, but that's fine.
We did.
Yeah, I know.
That's fine. Well, yeah.
So yeah, there's mom stuff too, right? And then once her children are in danger, she goes into mom mode.
Yeah,
She's like, you are not going to mess with my children.
Fades away.
Yeah. What I do love about the dad too was, I mean, his response when they first show up at the house, classic. I mean, Nate, you would do this exact same thing, would you? He comes out there first, like, and he even lowers his voice, like, y'all need to be getting up off my property.
Yeah,
really. Then comes out with the bat, and then when they start running, he's like, oh shit! He starts going right back. Like,
I would
think it's time to
100% do
call the
that.
police.
I would 100% do that.
Yeah, that is exactly. Oh, so perfect. So well done.
I'd have a hatchet, but yeah,
Oh my God.
I've already established that. But yeah, other than that, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, and obviously, the mom was incredible. I mean,
She did great.
she looked terrified in every frame.
And the shadow version of herself was really well done. Didn't you say that Jordan Peele had her watch a ton of horror movies?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't really a horror fan. She hadn't really seen much. And so he's like, watch these key movies.
Yeah. So he apparently he told her to do Rosemary's Baby. And,
Well, no, here are the 10 films that the cast was supposed to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
To have a shared kind of horror knowledge.
Yeah.
There was Dead Again, 1991 Dead Again.
Mm-hmm.
There was The Shining. There was The Babadook.
Mm-hmm.
There was It Follows.
Mm-hmm.
A Tale of Two Sisters.
Ooh, wait, the original or the?
No, 2003.
Ah.
The Birds. Funny Games. Ugh. Martyrs. Ugh. Let the Right One In, and Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is
Interesting.
interesting.
The original
Okay.
Let the Right One In or the American?
The original.
Okay. At least.
Is Let Me In is the remake.
Yeah. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
But the remake's good in that one. That's actually one of the better remakes.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all, well, largely they're great.
He
Yeah.
didn't have them watch Get Out?
He's like, they already watched it.
Right.
Come on.
I know they've seen
They
it.
already watched it.
Yeah, the kids were really good in this too. Because you never quite know what you're going to get with child actors, especially when they have to play dual roles, like opposing roles. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
This and Get Out, the acting for the horror film acting has gotten so much better
Yeah.
than it used to. Like so much better.
Now, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
I leaned over to Mitch at one point very early on in the movie because all that the shadow character did was go.
Yeah, a lot
And
of
I'm
smiling.
like, why is smiling? Oh, sorry, you guys, you can't see me. Why is smiling so creepy? And then I started to think to myself, do people think I'm creepy? Because I
Because
smile
smiling
a lot.
all
Like
the
at work, out at the mall. I'm smiling
You're
at
making
people.
you're making people have fear in their hearts.
Am I just looking at them?
That's what
They're
you're
like,
doing.
whoa, that girl is
Is it
creepy.
the smiling with teeth? I don't know. Or is it just.
It's the eyes too. It's
Yeah.
because that's it right there.
Yikes, creepy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, is that change too? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Michael Myers head tilt. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Oh, yeah.
looking like kind of like this is fine, but then when you like show the tilt movement, yeah, that's when it gets
Yeah.
nuts.
Were y'all, I guess before we get really into spoilers, were y'all Did this movie kind of play out the way you thought it would going into it, or were you kind of surprised at the direction it took?
I tried to not know as much as possible about this before watching. No. So I was just wide open, blank slate.
I knew nothing.
Yeah, but did y'all have any sort of, I mean, I'm talking more from just like what you thought, just even from just the trailers maybe. Did it,
I only watched like the teaser.
Okay.
I didn't watch anything else. I wanted to go in as fresh as possible.
Okay. You didn't watch, how long was the teaser? Like 30 seconds?
Yeah, it was the first teaser is all I watched. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Done.
I even told Mitch when we first saw it, I was like, I'm not watching that.
Well, I didn't watch Mary Queen of Scots. So,
wow.
So that saved me. Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I also didn't want to hear too much about what had happened. I did see some of the reviews in terms of like just the overall, like people were just saying it was
great.
It
scary? Was it? Yeah.
Well, not even so much that. Just so did people come from like South by? What was kind of the general response? I really didn't want to get too in details or let anything tell me what it was about. It was definitely different. I think played out than what I thought it was going to be. And some of the themes, I wasn't ready for, but largely it was good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about that's not spoilery?
I would say just go watch it.
Yeah. Lisa, do you tell people to go watch it or not go watch it?
If you're a horror movie fan, go watch it. If you're unsuspecting victim, read a few of the reviews first before you go.
Okay. That makes sense.
Look yourself in the mirror and ask, do I have fear in my heart?
What's the criteria for that? Who knows?
Do I work on a podcast where I have to go watch it?
Let's make it as vague as possible, just like that phrase. Like, do you know if you have fear in your heart? If you're asking the question, you already know. It's like that. It's that low.
Or do you?
Yeah. Or do you? Like, if you have to ask the question, you don't know. Like, that's it.
Well, let's get into some spoilers then.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The dog of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
Okay, what in the absolute fuck?
So we're spoiling this now. Let's get into this movie.
I guess let's talk about the Shadow People.
Let's first talk about Lost Boys. Because they reference the Lost Boys. Did you catch that, Lisa?
When did they reference the Lost Boys?
They're on the pier, the same pier, Santa Cruz Pier, as Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. But it's 1986, and the mom goes, "Oh yeah, they're filming a movie over by the carousel."
Oh, really?
Hell yeah!
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Hell yeah, I caught it right away.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, they did.
Lost Boys. They're filming like, oh my god,
wow.
This is so good.
Which can we get this movie from that perspective?
Yeah.
The Lost Boys are all dead now.
It's like it's a documentary. Like Kiefer Sutherland's like, I just heard a girl went missing and I felt really bad for her.
Could you imagine the Coreys meeting their doppel Coreys?
Oh my gosh. Did y'all catch all the videotapes at the very beginning?
Yes.
They had Rocky Horror Picture Show. They had Nightmare on Elm Street.
There's The Right Stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was Chud.
What is Chud?
Cannibal, humanoid, underground dwellers.
Why did I ask?
Which was a total awesome spoiler
wink.
nod to how this movie was going to go. Although in the beginning of the movie, they said like, there's a shit ton of tunnels under the United States. That was the beginning text in the movie.
No one knows what they're there for.
A lot of them. You don't know.
No.
A lot of them are connected to piers.
Do you think
Why?
Do you think he had to put that because he screened the movie and everyone's like, wait? He's like, oh, I guess I better explain where they are.
I'll get you. I will get you. Don't worry about it. Like, why are you talking about tunnels? Who cares? I'm going to get you.
So are they like Futurama? Doesn't Leela's parents live underground?
Yes. They're mutants.
There you go.
These people are mutants?
Yeah.
This is X-Men kind of
well,
thing?
In
Futurama.
In Futurama.
I've never seen Futurama.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so sad.
The only thing I've seen is when the dog dies.
Of course.
That's the only thing I've seen about Futurama.
Shocked.
Because someone sent it to me.
Shocked.
Of course.
Shocked.
Well, let's get over with.
What? Is there a dog dying? Then let me go check this out.
Let's check the website. Do hundreds of thousands of rabbits die? Yes.
Oh,
in this movie.
Don't.
They get eaten
They were
raw
getting
by
eaten raw in
a
that one
million
room.
people.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them escape at the end.
Well, they make a lot of them, I guess.
Yeah. They're feeding the rabbits too. You know this, right? Those are the only source. Where all the rabbits coming from, I have no clue, but there's a real Watership Down scenario.
Jesus. This is kidding.
Wow.
This is twice now this episode.
There's
really
no
taking
positive.
a hard
There's
left.
like no positive rabbit like culture anymore.
No.
Peter Rabbit is gone.
That was
Like,
the only one.
He's gone. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about the Shadow People. What were your thoughts about sort of the reveal? So the fact that they're government, basically they're created by the government.
Well, they didn't say government.
Yeah, no, but you're right. They didn't say government.
Said them.
Them.
Just said it was very ambiguous. At first,
but you gotta assume it.
At first, you thought, oh well, this lady had this huge trauma that you don't really know anything about in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they have the doppelgangers. But then when Tim and Elizabeth Moss had doppelgangers too, then that really expanded out the scope, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that worked? Would you have liked to have seen it more focused on the family, or do you think that was a good
it worked.
move?
I think it worked, but I do think it poses some other questions around. You know, I think to what you just said, the scope, right? Like, this is everyone in the world? Is this America? Is this just here in Santa Cruz?
Everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the I was like,
it's hands across. Well, it was hands across America.
I
don't know. Maybe it was just America.
It might have. Well, the way we'll get into it a little bit later, but the metaphors that I was thinking about were American specific. So I was thinking maybe it was just America. Like, how do the underground people connect, across continents?
Sure.
Is there an underground tunnel across the continents? God damn it! If that's something, then that would be.
There you go.
That's even creepier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets a lot harder to make the scope bigger. So you can do like a total not cop out, but like you can make the scope bigger at the very end of the movie, like the invitation. Yeah. Like when you see a bunch of lit, and you're like, what? And then the movie's over. It's like, we did it and we didn't have to like get into it. Like, It was like the best of both worlds. This, they waited, maybe halfway through the movie right? Is when you kind of get the reveal that it's a bigger scope.
Yeah.
Then when you do it that early, you have to explain it, which is tougher. I like when they personally go bigger. I love the Matrix 2, where they get into like all the world building of like all this stuff. You are like the only person.
You and the Wachowski brothers' mom are the only one who likes the Matrix 2.
Gertrude Wachowski.
No, I mean, I think the invitation is a great example of how you can blow it up. Be like, holy shit! Now, obviously, that's not.
And
what
then like credits, like that was like probably one of the best ways to do it. But I mean, so the movie's still good. A lot of interesting ideas, very creepy. But yeah, once you make the scope bigger, it really, then they had to do exposition to explain the scope, and then it bogged it down a little bit in between like Act 2 and 3 ish. But Act 2 was awesome.
What threw me off about the Shadow People and that whole thing is that, Lisa, you mentioned that when they're showing the people up top on the surface area, and they're all moving, and everyone on the bottom underground, that's their doppelgangers, are all moving in largely the same way.
Similar ways, yeah.
But then they break apart when they're trying to get untethered, what they're called murdering their
so then they can take over instead of being like relegated to mimicking what they do on the surface.
But then at random times when it just seems that maybe they just couldn't figure out how to write something out, or they want to do something cool, then they follow. Like the boy basically kills his doppelganger. The son basically kills his doppelganger by just making him walk backwards into fire. But why is he following what the boy's movements are? He hadn't been following the boy's movements for most of the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Good
question.
Those are some of the things that I didn't, that kind of took away from me a little bit.
And I'm sure like in a second viewing, like why sometimes they killed people straight out and why they like injured them instead. I'm sure there's like maybe there's a reason for that, right?
Sure.
Like maybe what they did or something. I don't know. This is a movie that probably benefits from multiple viewings. I would assume.
Wait, what was your question?
Well, because sometimes they just kill people straight out, like right away. Like Tim and Eric got just straight up murdered.
Well, the only ones that didn't get killed straight away was this family. Everyone else pretty much got immediately.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and that's tied to the twist.
They got killed, but not every like they weren't like, the family wasn't getting killed, and my assumption is that like not everyone got killed right away. Not everyone was dead, right?
I don't know. I thought everyone,
just the shadow people were just inefficient. Is what you're saying. Okay, maybe that was it. Okay.
Well, I thought these is because there was a bigger motive. I mean, that's the target, right?
Sure.
What are you about to say, Lisa? I'm sorry.
Forgot.
Okay. No, that was so. Yeah, I let's talk about the themes about this. I mean, because really, this is what everyone's sort of expecting is the message behind it. What did you think it was all really about?
Lisa, you got anything?
No, but I remember what I was going to say.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Go for it.
No, the first part when they come in, what did y'all think about her story? The shadow, Lupita's, because what's her name in the movie?
Well, she's Adelaide, and the red is her counterpart.
Okay.
Shadow counterpart.
Adelaide is the red?
No, Adelaide is
Adelaide
the real name, and red is
Surface.
Okay, Lupita, her shadow person was telling that story. What'd y'all think? That got to me more than anything. I started to actually feel bad for the shadow people. I was like, that is so sad.
And so that story got me thinking that the whole, and it's, at least I want to hear your opinion on this. The whole thing was, not the whole thing, but a lot of the metaphor for this movie was like class, like the underclass is the basement or the underground dwellers.
Yeah.
The rich people have all these things, right, that they're doing, and they get all like the better things. The underclass can do kind of similar things to them, kind of, but not like at the same level.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just mimicking, right? And then, when powerful people make decisions or whatever, they take away like potentially the free will of people who have way less power in society. Mm-hmm. That's what I assumed that part was. Does that make sense?
Nate went deep.
That's what I assumed, though. That was like the first thing I thought of.
That's the only thing right now that makes sense to me.
Because she's like, oh, well, you had all this nice shit. Like I had toys that cut my fingers.
No.
What? First of all, those aren't toys. Like you need to reclassify those.
When she said that she had her son and they cut the baby out of her, she's like, I had to cut myself.
Yeah, like I had to do it myself. Like, oh, you had nice healthcare. I had nothing. like I felt like it was kind of that way they could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about it a little bit more when we were leaving the theater, coming back to the studio. I think you're right. To me, I was thinking it's more around privilege, right? Which I mean is a bit of a classist sort of thing.
Sure.
But I thought the bigger piece, and I was thinking about the scissors, right, is the fact that Adelaide. I mean, getting into the twist, right? Adelaide. Was it shows early in the film that she runs into her shadow
doppelganger
self
in the Hall of Mirrors,
and then you find out at the end that the doppelganger switched places with her, broke free, and all that.
Yeah,
I thought kind of the point of what they were doing was showing that she is sort of broken out of this kind of repressed, forgotten group of people.
Yeah,
and she's moved up, and she is sort of untethered herself from that background, from that from that class, if you will. So even though she's from there, she now totally dissociates from it.
She tries to kill them to keep what she has.
She dances ballet at presumably like a really big audience.
And when they ask, like, who are you? Like, we're Americans. Yeah. That's what they say. Like, I think it's like saying in America, like, wow, I don't know how I got all Southern there. That, there are people in our society, because there are people that don't have choices or don't have the same
like privilege
chances, right, to do things, that they could do it. Like if those people had the same ability to go to school or whatever, there's like there is a doppelganger of you out there somewhere who could do that chance. And to be honest, they'd probably be more grateful and appreciate it more, which is what they mentioned in the movie too. And then the other people are anticipating that and preemptively fighting them to keep their spot, which is
So
that's what I thought it was. Yeah,
you went ahead and brought it up, Mitch. So 2 questions: 1, should we have seen this twist coming? And 2, did you like it, or did you feel like it was kind of a cop out at the end?
I sort of saw it coming
because she's the only one of the shadow people that can talk.
No.
Everyone else
Yeah.
just grunts.
Oh.
She's the only one that can actually articulate.
That was a good. It was like.
Well, she hasn't had to talk to anyone,
Yeah.
so her voice hasn't been used.
Have you seen the episode where the dolphins take over in The Simpsons?
Of course,
Yeah.
In the Treehouse of Horror. he goes in the beginning of that. He goes, "Snorky, talk, man." Excuse me, folks. That's kind of what she did in this movie. She
Yeah.
started like.
Yeah,
And then she started like, oh yeah, I
she hasn't talked to anyone
I can put
in,
together
like,
a whole chapter of a book right
15
here.
years.
Yeah.
Whereas too, Red, when at the switch, she
didn't talk at all.
She couldn't talk at all. And
Then
her
she
parents were
learned.
like, she won't talk anymore.
Yeah.
I mentioned, it's only been 15. It was only 15 minutes. I didn't think a whole lot of it at the time. Because I didn't know what it. My question earlier in the non-spoiler part about, what did you expect? I was really sort of expecting this more to be talking about just our nature as just being kind of having this darker, violent side. And that's
Like
not really where they went.
Yeah, I thought too.
That's where
that's self-destructive.
And I don't think that this
is.
is, and I don't think that this is necessarily better or worse than that. It caught me off guard that way. So I think that's why I thought something was going to happen, but I didn't really catch what the full twist was going to be. As a cop out, it's fine. It was.
I thought because the kid liked to burn things, the mask version of the kid, Pluto.
Yeah, right.
I was like, Pluto Nash, come on. That was also a fire, but in a different way. But I thought
God.
he's like, he likes to burn things down. Like, all right, maybe this is the self-destructive, but it never really that never really hit as a theme in the movie.
I really don't know what the whole fire thing with him was really about.
So like Get Out, the director commentary from Jordan Peele is amazing.
Oh, really?
I hope he keeps doing that for every movie because I know there's a ton of crap.
I don't ever watch director commentary.
This
I would
one
watch
be
it for
good.
this.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot
to
of things.
get in his head and see what he was
There was
thinking.
there was a straight up Jaws shirt in this movie.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of, the dad is hobbled.
Mm-hmm.
But like throughout the movie, like, you always trip over something or you're like always limping away from the killer. He was doing that like the whole movie, which is really funny. So we didn't really get into the comedy in this is pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The comedy
it's not too slapstick. It's
yeah, it was appropriate, but fun. I mean, people laughed in the theater. For sure.
My favorite bit is when she's at the very end, she's chasing down the shadow and she goes back into the fun house and that stupid owl pops out and she just smacks it down.
Suck it, owl. Yeah.
No, I love the dance fight scene.
Oh, this was the scene
that
of
was
the movie.
really good.
Scene of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again, Mitch. I told you when we walked into the theater. Suck it, Zoolander. They have a new number one dance fight scene in a film.
Did y'all notice the shadow, who we thought was the shadow and is not the shadow, moved very gracefully during that dance scene.
Yeah.
Versus the opposite, who was mimicking her but was moving very herky jerky.
Yes.
So I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, it gave away there was a lot of signs now that we know the twist was coming. Like that's another one. Yeah. There was a lot of really good stuff there.
The other really interesting thing that I thought of, and maybe it's just the mom in me now, is when her daughter, hits the shadow girl and she goes in the forest and she actually goes to comfort her as she's dying. She's like, shh. Like, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. And then when she got really upset when the shadow boy died, do you think that's because in her head, she was like, those would have been my children if I hadn't gotten out? Like, she felt something for those kids.
Well, she felt the connection
to
them being close, right? Because she was more familiar with the tethering. So I would assume yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that mask, that was not a great mask. Yikes. Like Pulp Fiction-esque. Yeah.
So one of the
not good. Yikes.
Right. So one of the big things in this movie is also the Hands Across America. The movie starts off with an actual like original commercial for it.
Yeah.
Which I looked that up right after that apparently was on MTV. That's where I found it.
Sure.
And then you can see at one point it is Adelaide watching it. Now I assume this is pre-abducted Adelaide, not post abducted.
Well, we don't know, but
she had to have some sort of understanding of what Hands Across America.
Well, she had the shirt on when she got copied or she got replaced, I guess. Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts around that? Because to me, that was the hardest part to really reconcile with the rest of the film.
So if you look at it so now that you've mentioned that, if you look at it as a term of like their, like privilege or class, Hands Across America was, I'm assuming it was like a big charity effort, like, We Are the World or Live Aid or whatever. It was like a showy thing, but how much does it actually help?
Well, it failed, didn't it? That was what was so funny.
As I'm saying, like, so maybe it was that is combined with the class thing. Like there are people with real problems and like we need to help them instead of like kind of being pitted against each other. Or them thinking they need to like, kill everybody to get a fair shot, I guess. So maybe that did tie in that way. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I was kind of spitballing on this one.
No, you're probably right. I mean, that's probably as good a guess as anything else. I mean, yeah, I do remember Hands Across America not being very successful when it happened. I think they like,
I think they because
I know it's a big, it's
they
kind
wasted
of a
money
joke,
or something, or something.
It was
that.
They raised some crazy amount of money and then they had to spit like out of their operating costs. They lost like half of it.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, those commercials. There you go.
All right. And then this is Reagan's time too. And this is back when Reagan was also saying that, poor people were,
welfare queens.
The whole welfare queen thing. And also that they were hungry, not because there wasn't enough food or opportunity, but because they just didn't have enough knowledge of knowing where to get stuff. Yep. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit more of that kind of time period piece. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think it was also showing that like, well, at least they tried kind of.
Now, so how'd y'all like that last scene? So, I mean, clearly, I guess, we talked about, is everyone dead? And I guess not, because I don't know the doppelgangers have learned how to fly helicopters.
Well, they practiced their whole life. Or kind of. Imagine a doppelganger, kind of the herky-jerky mode. Like imagine you're on that airplane. Like, like what if you're on an airplane? How do the underground people get you? You just keep flying forever, and then you're like, I'm safe.
I mean, I guess if you're like vacationing in London or something, you're set, right? I mean, outside of Brexit, but you're fine largely.
Oh, that's true. If you're traveling overseas, okay. Well, this is travel, John. What I would do? Always be overseas. Get like an expat assignment somewhere.
Oh God. Was there anything? What'd y'all think of that last scene? I guess.
Well, the last shot of the film is she remembers the twist, right? Or she's thinking back to the twist.
Yeah.
And then she smiles the same way she smiled when she got away with it. Mm-hmm. And then the son sees and is like, "Oh, I think she was one of them." Mm-hmm. Like, boom. Like, that was good. I like the ending.
Well, and he even hesitates when she finds him in that locker.
Yeah.
And she's like so excited. Like, if you notice, she hugs him. He doesn't hug her back.
Yeah.
He's just standing there like.
He's sensing it. Yeah.
Well, because, when she kills her, we'll say her shadow self.
She made that sound.
She did make the sound.
She made more. Oh, man.
She's acting just like him.
Okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is, okay.
And she uses.
The everything connected with I'm sorry, Lisa. Everything connected with the twist was great.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Lisa? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say early on, she kills one of those twins with the golden scissors and the son sees her too.
Oh, we did. Oh, man.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah,
you put a lot in there.
Yeah. See, you gotta watch this
everything,
again.
Everything with the family, it's the larger themes that were like the larger story mythology behind it. That's
why these movies. That's why his movies and his things will probably be awesome, like the shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. Is that there's going to be like callbacks and layers and just kind of fun things.
Yeah.
And like half of it's going to be like, oh, I gotta find this reference. Like, oh, is Michael Bay doing that in his movies? No. Like the references. This explosion was like another explosion I did in Transformers, but I tweaked it a little bit.
Right.
No one cares. All right, come on.
Someone was saying that the twins were a nod to The Shining.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No.
Nice.
He had all sorts of stuff in here.
Okay. Yeah. Damn.
Any other scenes that stood out to y'all in this movie that y'all really liked or hated? Either way.
I mean, dad jokes. The dad jokes consistently awesome throughout the beginning of the film.
Liked when they're doing the dual surface and underground and you pass the two rooms. One of them, they're on the tilt-a-whirl, so they're just they're walking, and then the other one's on the roller coaster, so they're just like, whoa.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
and the
those
roller
were great.
coaster one, yeah.
It was good. It was really good. Yeah.
All right, well, I think that'll wrap it up for this review. So I got to tell you, it could have been worse.
Could be worse.
Not that bad.
For me, it's all about perspective. It's what you make of it.
Perfectly fitting.
How
That we got
fitting.
Key and Field there. Money.
Of course.
Not that bad.
Not that bad.
Also this one off. She goes into the underground, the linking between the two worlds. I thought, how could this be worse? Mole people. You come down there's mole people? That's worse.
What if those rabbits are feral?
What if they're the Monty Python rabbit?
Oh, shit, yeah.
The mole people start having kids with the rabbits all of a sudden.
Futurama.
What's worse?
No.
I mean, imagine that.
Yeah.
Mole people. That would have been that'd have been a twist.
I mean,
that's like M. Night
Aren't they
Shyamalan.
mole
Early M. Night
people, though?
Shyamalan level.
Kind of. They kind of are mole people.
largely. I mean, somehow they had a working escalator.
Well, okay, I think
Only one way though.
Only one way.
the mole people though would have made their own tunnel.
Which
That's
begs the
difference.
question: how the hell did they get out of there?
Well, if you run really fast up the escalator, you could do it. What? I wouldn't have been able to.
This is like the first time I did it, I broke my
You'd be
face.
fine. Your
but-
doppelganger
my doppelganger
would have
never made it out.
Okay.
You would have
It's
gone
like-
you
it's like
would have
the-
already been worn out by the time you finally get to the top. You're just falling back
This
down.
is one of the deleted scenes that they're going to get the commentary on, like the escalator chase. That's going to be it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it just the power blocked out and it becomes stairs, and that's fine. Yeah. I mean, how it could be worse for me, I think, is other doppelgangers could be trying to kill you, and it becomes more of a zombie movie than anything. Really, you just have to survive one doppelganger.
No,
Tim and Elizabeth Moss were trying to kill them also.
yeah, he had to
Although
kill two.
again, Elizabeth Moss wasn't killing her right away. See, that's what I'm saying. I bet there was a reason for that.
And well,
Yeah,
but
because her shadow one said,
But not all of them
leave
obeyed
that family
that.
to me.
because the twins were trying to kill the other children, and then when they had the news report and they were talking about the slaughter, it sounded like they were just randomly like,
yeah,
because that's where they came out of, was in the carnival. So they were just going around and killing whoever they could get their hands on, I think.
If you're one of the shadow people and someone kills your like surface you, are you pissed? Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
man?
I know, right?
Now
I've
what
been
am I-
waiting all
now
these
what am I
years.
supposed to do?
I call dibs on that.
Yeah, what am I supposed to
And
do
then-
now? Gee, I got this nice pair of scissors and it's all shiny still. What? Yeah, seems like it'd be a letdown. Lisa, how else could this be worse?
I don't know. This is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I forgot to mention something in the review. I did like how when she goes down to chase them, she literally follows the white rabbit down the hole, just like Alice in Wonderland. So could it have been worse? The hallway could have gotten really, really small.
Oh.
She could have had to drink a potion.
There could have been a hookah smoking caterpillar
There you go.
hanging out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got one. It could have got better.
Ooh, the smile is the Cheshire Cat smile.
See?
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, no, I was saying it could have been better. Their daughter didn't know what Home Alone was, so
Oh my
maybe
gosh.
fix that.
Oh,
It
Fix
could have
that.
been better. They could have Home Aloned it.
Yeah,
They could have literally said Home Alone traps. That
Yeah.
would have been great.
man, what if your doppelganger, like you're just watching TV all the time, your doppelganger just sitting around, just what are we doing? What is happening? You have the whole world upstairs, and you're just watching.
that's why they want to murder you because you're wasting your chances. That's kind of what
Oh my
they
God.
they did mention that.
Hold on, we got to say the obvious thing. We'll never get it done with this part. I mean, you're just imagine being down there, just shoulder to shoulder doppelgangers. You know, at any given point, half of them are jacking it.
Oh,
Like,
Really, Mitch?
you know it hits around like 10:30, 11, and it's just rubbing them out.
yikes!
Oh, on that note, I am done with this podcast.
I did not think of it, Mitch. Wow, that's what a unique perspective you're bringing to the table here.
I cannot be the only person.
I did not think of that at all. Lisa's hands are in her face. She's like, oh, I can't.
I mean, that would be worse if you're a shadow person. It's like, God damn it, Carl, will you get your surface person to like lay off for 5 seconds?
Somewhere in the shadow world, there's a person who's your doppelganger, and there's Lisa's doppelganger, and that person is giving them the same look. Like the disappointed look that's happening right now is also happening down there.
Probably. All right.
It couldn't be worse if you're Mitch right now.
Fair.
There you go.
All right. So, Nate, what if this movie was a different genre?
All right. Spinning the wheel of genres. What if Us, instead of being a horror thriller, potential metaphor, huge amount of metaphors that we totally misunderstood, instead of that was a soap opera?
Ooh. Well, yeah, I mean, every time they killed one of the shadow people, they would come back in like 3 weeks later for a sweeps week.
Yeah. Like a lot of disappearances, but you never see the body dead.
Right. Now, are we talking a normal soap opera? Or are we talking a telenovela?
It's a dealer's choice here. I was thinking, oh my God, here we go. The Young and the Restless. That's so terrible.
I feel like a shadow Elizabeth Moss just kills surface Elizabeth Moss and then gets with the husband, the surface husband.
But then surface Elizabeth Moss comes back.
Yes.
From the dead at some point. Possibly possessed by the devil.
Bam.
Well, I think that was an actual soap opera story.
All the doppelgangers are like long lost twins. Like the lady was drugged when she had the kids. She only remembered one of them.
my
but there was always a second one out there. And that's who came to kill them, to take over the family business and the inheritance because one of their rich family patriarchs just died.
Yeah, I like it.
Wow.
I like it.
I had to watch a lot of Days of Our Lives with my mom when I was growing up. So.
Yeah,
that was too easy.
So
that was too easy.
So does Stefano show up?
Stefano Demera. God. Wow, we really had this very specific.
Wow.
Well, that's because
John Black. Oh man. That's a really specific joke. I apologize to anyone who hasn't seen Days of Our Lives. Actually, I'm not apologizing to you. Don't watch that show.
No.
But yeah, there could be the long lost twins coming for money. Yeah, doing the kill.
No one works, but they're all at a coffee shop all the time.
Yeah. No one works where they have like the nicest apartments you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
I like the Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Can you think of a better one?
No.
That's probably I don't know. That's the best way I could go.
No, that's good. Yeah. General Escalator. I don't know.
You can go Twin Peaks, but with 2 E's because they're coming out of the underground.
Coming from the underground.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
No. Okay. Well, if you have a better genre or another soap opera idea, let us know. I don't know enough telenovelas outside of La Rosa de Guadalupe, but I don't think that fits in this scenario. They all learn a lot. Basically, that one is they all learn some life lesson, and then a red rose shows up, and they've been forgiven.
Is there more scissor stabbing in a telenovela than there is in like a general hospital or whatever that is? Lisa, do you know anything about telenovelas? I do not.
Mitch is a big fan of telenovelas.
Mitch is.
I want to be. I don't know what's going on. So, largely like this movie then.
A lot of gesturing, a lot of face slapping.
Yeah. It's my
Pretty
life,
much what
basically,
happens.
on screen.
Well,
It's about to be.
It will be later. I was gonna say, this is like you're walking into your own prophecy here. Yeah. Exactly. Oh God.
No.
Move on, Mitchell.
No me gusta.
Move on.
All right. With that said, we're going to get into our final cut.
Final cut.
I will jump ahead on this one. It is a solid movie. It's definitely warrants at least one rewatch. Again, I think we all kind of agree it's not as good as Get Out. Although I don't know if it's totally fair to necessarily compare it to Get Out also. Just because they're done by Jordan Peele. But in any case, I would give this 7 out of 10 red jumpsuit apparatuses.
Oh, God. The references are really happening.
I debated for a second. I was like, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to give it 6 Breaking Benjamins. All right, here we go.
Nate.
Okay, so I think it's hard not to compare Get Out to this.
Yeah.
Get Out was a little better. But this was also interesting. The more we're talking about it, the more intrigued I am to go watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's kind of, so my rating might go up in the future. But right now, I'm going to also give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 scissors. It was good. The acting was, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Now that we started doing 0.5s recently, I'm just going to hit that middle.
Because the acting, we collectively agree.
The acting was so good that
I got some golden scissors.
Don't tell the leprechaun, but yeah, I thought it was good. Imagine a leprechaun movie.
God, what if all this?
Imagine a leprechaun movie
crossover. All the scissors are made of the gold they stole from him.
Yes. Well, so Jordan Peele is doing Candyman. I forgot about that. He's also doing Candyman, of course. He could do Leprechaun also. So
he could. Hopefully,
if you're listening, Jordan. If you're listening, Jordan.
If you're listening,
resurrect that franchise. It desperately needs you. No. I need to buy another Blu-ray of this. I desperately need that.
Lisa, unsuspecting victim. Where's it at?
I think we would determine it was good, not great. Mm-hmm. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10 geode statues.
Nice.
Which, interesting that he killed Kitty with the base of the statue and not the geode part like I thought he was going to. Hey, but whatever works.
Hey, you don't want to break that geode.
Yeah.
No.
He kept it too.
I think this is the first time we've all given a movie the same score.
Wow. Lucky
Well,
sevens.
you screwed it up by giving it a 7.5 jackass.
No, I'll drop it. I take that back. Okay, I'll give it a 7. That's fair.
Wow,
I'll give it a 7.
Now you're going to drop your score to succumb to peer pressure?
But
wow.
that only happened twice. This movie and Jason X, we all gave 2s.
Oh, wow.
Did we not all give Suckling 0? Who gave it a 1?
I gave it a 0.666.
Of course
which rounds up
did.
to 1. So, it's a little different.
Christ. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us.
Oh,
you can find us at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre at gmail.com. Send those emails in for episode 100. We'll do the mailbag episode instead of our normal debate, and we'll read your best questions on the air. When we were drinking a lot of alcohol during St. Paddy's Day, we did say that we would do voices. So Sean Connery and Evil Elmo will be making an appearance depending on how well the questions go.
Oh, goodness.
You can check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, and all of your other podcast platforms.
Yep. Please rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell anyone else who fits inside.
Tell your doppelgangers.
Tell your doppelgangers.
Tell random people going in to watch this movie.
If everyone who listens today had their doppelganger also subscribe, that would be really awesome. We'd be in good shape. Jesus. All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a metaphor. Good night.